this idea it was just like I wanted to make a song without hi-hats.
Oh,
Yeah, this song does not have hi-hats.
Prob has the weirdest ideas, bro. I want to make a song without hi-hats. I've never even thought of that shit.
he's like, let me challenge myself.
Let me make a song without lyrics.
ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਲੱਕੜ ਬੱਗੇ ਭੱਜੇ ਵੱਜੇ ਥੱਪੜ ਛੱਡੇ ਹੱਕੇ ਬੱਕੇ ਪਾਪੜ ਕੱਚੇ ਆਕੜ ਰੱਖੇ ਵੱਡੀ ਵੱਜੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਆਕੜ ਬੱਕੜ
Welcome to Boiler Room and Ballantyne's True Music Studios. I'm really excited to be here, as I'm sure many of you are, because right now, Boiler Room and Ballantyne's True Music Studio is basically this global initiative where, and again, this means a lot to me because I'm a little bit of a music nerd. And what they do is they support and champion, underrepresented voices and, communities that do not get a voice in the music space. And so for me, that is exciting because I think I sometimes am a little too indie for my own good. So today, I have two absolute gentlemen and hip hop's finest, Classic Prabdeep. I'm sure you guys know him. Have you heard of him? Yeah. And I've also, I have to remember this. It is $1 time. Yeah, Krishna Kaul is also in the house. I'm very excited. See, I remembered it. So basically, tell you a little bit about Prabdeep. Exciting for me because like I said, I'm a bit of a music nerd, so he has this incredible ability to sort of take that Punjabi folk texture and bring it into sort of R&B and desi bass and take what you would consider just in this sort of Punjabi space all the way into sort of our mainstream zeitgeist. Krishna, like I said, $1 time. The amazing thing about him is that I feel like he's been around for quite a while. And like, if you guys remember, like if we're looking at hip hop, I think he's somewhere in between like Baba Segal and, Meri Gali Mein. That's like kind of where Krishna, not you guys all get that reference now. So basically, Krishna, I think, has been around for a while, and he was kind of started out when hip hop wasn't a really big part of our pop culture, but I think that hustle and that struggle has really got him somewhere right now. He's someone who also is really bold and is kind of unafraid of putting his opinion out there in his music. So the thing that you're going to get to know today is that you're going to get the chance to kind of find out the origin story of Prabdeep and Krishna, get to know their music, and also kind of understand, where they're coming from and how they write and do what they do. So my hope, actually, is that when all of you leave here, you not only feel like, oh my God, I'm listening to this music and I know where it's coming from, but you leave here going, gosh, I know two guys. So yeah. So right now, I would like all of you to put your hands together, do many, many claps. Come on, let's get it started. Clapping, yes. Come on, make your mothers proud. We've got Prabdeep and Krishna. Woo. Yeah. Did I miss the memo? I feel like I didn't get the shades. Prabdeep, you can sit here. Krishna, you can sit there. Okay. I think we're doing the exchange program. There you go. Hi. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. I feel like, okay, so, like I said, very excited. I also feel like I didn't get the memo about the shades. Huh? Am I the only one that didn't get the memo?
You're wearing glasses, so it's okay.
Thanks. They should be darker though, I think. So yeah. So I am excited that you guys both are here. I think the thing that I really want to ask both of you, right? Because I think this question is really important to me, is that when you go home, both of you, what is the food your mother makes you? We're gonna break Boiler Room Ballantyne's True Music Studio. So, Prab, tell me, you go home, what your mom make you?
Depends on our mood, man.
Oh, really
Yeah.
now? But what do you like? What's your favorite, like?
Mostly Rajma Chawal.
Really? You're a guys, he's a Rajma Chawal guy.
Aloo
Well,
Paranthe as well.
Aloo parathe also? What about you?
It depends where I'm coming from.
Oh, where are you coming from then?
If I'm coming from out of town, then it's Kashmiri food.
Like what? Give us like, I don't think I know enough about Kashmiri food.
Like Rogan Josh.
Oh,
yeah.
that's originally Kashmiri?
I am Kashmiri, yeah.
Oh, no. I'm saying I didn't know Rogan Josh was originally Kashmiri. You, I know, are originally Kashmiri.
You didn't know where? What did you think it was from?
I don't know. The north somewhere? So awesome. So guys, Rajma Chawal, Aloo Parathe. Now you guys know a little something. So when you go home, you're like, I know what to make Prab and Krish if they come home. So I think for me, kind of getting to know the two of you, at least like I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to music. So one of the things was that, firstly, let's start with Krish. You wrote your first rap when you were 14? Is that right?
Yeah, when I was 14 on a tissue paper, and
You gotta tell me what it was about.
I don't remember what it was about, but it was worth throwing in the trash. That's why it was on a tissue paper.
No. But then, like, so what were you writing about at that age?
I think I started rapping because of the environment around me, and it was just, everyone else was rapping, and I felt like I could do it too.
Yeah.
So it was just like basically a loose attempt at doing what they were doing.
Yeah.
But also because I was listening to so much hip hop music that somewhere I felt like, this could be a way to vent, maybe.
Oh.
So that's where it kind of started, and yeah.
Like at Krish, the angsty teen. What about you, Prab? I know that Says on the Beat was like 10 minutes away from your house. There you go. One person knows him. But that's where Classic, like when you were 2017. So can you tell me a little bit about when you first started writing? What were you writing about?
I started writing way before I met Says. 2012,
Yeah.
maybe 2014, where I got really serious about this craft.
Really?
But yeah, it was about, like, I was doing a shitty job, so I talked about it.
What was the job?
I was scamming people, basically.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
No, that's not a good idea.
yeah.
And so you talked
But
about
like, I understood like what you give, like you get back. Life is
Yeah.
like a boomerang. So
Of course.
I'm like, okay, I need to get my together. So
Yeah.
2014, where I started, 17, me
Yeah.
and Says, like we dropped Classic.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good journey, man. 3 years, and him as well. Like when I was starting out, like I was producing for other people.
Yeah.
I was coming to Gurgaon with my backpack studio, like my studio in it, and like he was already signed, like back then, like so he cracked the game way before
Yeah, man.
any of us thought about it.
Yeah.
Him and Brother V at that time.
Yeah.
Brother V.
Brother
yeah.
V was at Sony and I was at Universal.
Wow.
Yeah,
But
didn't
that
work
was-
out good for both of us. So
But it must have been, I mean, I'm sure that, like, I think everyone talks about the struggle and the time it takes to actually be recognized. So you know that you were in, like, I painted a very rough timeline for everyone. You were between Baba Sehgal and
I
Garib.
think Baba Cycle is a bit of a stretch. I was a kid when Baba Cycle was around.
Exactly. So I was painting a timeline. You were like right in the middle.
Okay.
But like, I think in that sense, what was the thing that you felt like people weren't getting when you were trying to get on a label? Where were you misunderstood?
It wasn't the label so much. I feel like India wasn't ready for hip hop at that time. I think internet, 4G, these things liberalized sort of consumption of material and content from outside, and that's what gave access, and it helped kids sort of discover what hip hop was. So earlier, before that, I remember when I started, we were like just making songs for the fun of it, and just passing them around through like Bluetooth phones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was always limited.
Orkut.
Right?
Orkut.
Yeah,
I-
but I'm actually, everyone says Orkut, and people assume that I was on Orkut. I was never on Orkut, and any of those insignia, that's not like, I was never on it, no.
I heard about something called hip hop homework. That like there was like this thing where you could like help each other with the writing, the rap. it's called hip hop homework, or am I making
Only
that
the
up?
only the people who were on it know
I
about
don't
it.
think so. Any of us helped each other writing the
They were
raps.
like, no one had
That's
hip hop homework. Maybe
against
just
the
me.
ethics.
Maybe I needed the hip hop homework. So, Prab, like I think one of the things that is very evident in your music is that you did really go through a struggle on a very personal level with, where you were living, where you were from. There was like high rates of unemployment in that area in Delhi, and there is like a lot of struggle that was sort of taking place. So, were those kind of things that inspired a lot of your music? Like, what were the things that you were writing about, or that you felt like you needed to write about?
I don't think so. Struggle plays a part where I don't need struggle to write music.
Yeah.
That kind of struggle, like glorified poverty. Like you come from this background and they sell it. Somebody else is making money off it, not me.
Fair enough.
But anyway, when I got out of the neighborhood, I'm still writing. So I'm always writing what I'm seeing. Like that's what my craft is about.
Yeah.
Like and I have a different space in this environment. Like him, he's more technical. He's very detailed with his craft. When you you can open it up. With me, you can open it up in a different way. Like I do different type of layers with my music. So it's all about perspective. Like how you're always going through struggle, but you always have blessings in life.
Yeah.
So sometimes I talk about what I'm going through. Sometimes I talk about my blessings.
Yeah.
Depends on my mood, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in some sense, like all of us got to be grateful that we have what we have at this time. And Krishna, when we were talking about you being 14 when you were writing on tissue paper and all that, like me, as most people can tell, I'm one of those like foreign returnees. So you were in London at that time, right? Did you feel like hip hop gave you kind of agency in some way while you were in school there?
Yeah, so I was in London for a bit, and I was in school, and it kind of helped me fit in to the whole, into the system. I was at a school which was like predominantly black, and it was like I didn't want to stand out as an Indian kid. Indian kids were getting picked on and bullied, so I didn't want to like be a part of that. So I kind of picked up rap as a means to sort of get out of that. And then I just started enjoying it so much that I didn't want to stop. So that's kind of how it started.
So, you know what? And this question goes to both of you. And I think, Krishna, you kind of touched upon it a little bit, which is that there was a right time and there wasn't the right time for hip hop. So, what made like now the right time? What was it that you felt like changed in just, I guess, accessibility and so on?
I want to get Prabh's perspective. I've already given up some of my perspective. So
I think internet, for sure.
Really?
Access to information.
Fair enough.
That was we were lacking that information in the start.
Yeah.
And there were people who came from like New York, Germany. They were doing like spreading the word about hip hop around, like local jams and everything. But again, like there was not a heavy load of information that you can pick from, and like I didn't know if like that I can be a studio artist as well. That you can make money off music.
Yeah.
I thought you have to play gigs to make money
Yeah.
for a long time, and there are different avenues streams you can get revenue from.
Yeah.
So all this information was not like accessible back then.
Yeah.
Now internet, like you can just one click away to know what your contract needs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I also feel like hip hop, other forms of hip hop like dance, actually made its entry into India before rap music did. local rap music, I mean. Prab will vouch for that as well. So a lot
Yeah.
of these guys that were coming to Delhi and Bombay from outside of India, they were like proper hip hop practitioners. So they were into like the culture. So they were spreading b-boying and DJing
Graffiti
in
and-
terms of vinyl DJing, all of that. So that was like a small era in hip hop before like it started blowing up. And the MCs and the rappers actually came later when more information started coming in.
Yeah. I think this is so fascinating to kind of understand what kind of changed. And just like accessibility to the internet was the big shift. But this is the thing, right? I think the moment you can look up something on the internet, right? Like I look up how to make paneer burji, but then other people are like, let me listen to some cool hip hop music. So I want to understand from the two of you, when you are like sort of working on your music and figuring this out, because I think the other thing besides the internet is that literally being able to make music at home, right? Because I also think that it costs a lot to make music. And you're talking about, being a producer. I'm kind of curious because I feel like anyone who's in hip hop, especially if you're a rapper, like you guys have beat makers numbers like on speed dial pretty much. So what do you look for when you're thinking about production or working with a good beat maker?
I honestly just go on feeling, to be honest.
Vibes.
I just get a couple of beats. I mean, Prop produces, so it's very different from him. I haven't produced for like a good 10 years. So I just kind of, I listen to a beat. If it talks to me, then I talk back.
Do you, like, when the beat doesn't talk to you, then what do you do?
Then I don't listen to it anymore.
You'll be like, give me the next one now. What about you, being a producer as well? You know that there is something like making a beat that talks to people. Yeah.
I gotta send you some, man.
Prop is going to
It
send
has
me some.
begun, guys. Collaboration.
Yeah. Depends. Like sometimes I'm sitting on a project and is the thought that always comes first for me. So if I'm having a thought and I have to translate that into music, depends like what that thought needs. If I need a bass line from someone, then I get that bassist on board. Like, and that's your A&R. Like you have to do A&Ring yourself sometimes. That's leveling up for me, where I can collaborate with more musicians and bring the feel up a little more and say more with music, not just with words anymore. And it's a different type of struggle I go through because when you're writing, you're just writing, but I do both of the things simultaneously. I write and then I change a little bit on the piece and then I come back, then I write again. So it's always back and forth. And sometimes my writing part suffer because I'm like a geek.
You were talking about sometimes you're a bit of a nerd when you, like the writing gets put on the back burner
Yeah.
and then you're concentrating on the
Yeah,
production.
man, Raftar actually, like we did a project together and he pointed this out. He's like, your production overpowers your rap. So like he made a lot of things clear for me when I sat with him, like in the studio, in that sense. Sometimes I overpower.
But I don't think that's a bad thing, though, to be honest. I feel like either of them do the job, so it's good. To be a producer of that level, that your writing gets overpowered, which is already so good, I feel like that's a compliment in itself.
Oh man, that's a compliment. Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm feeling so much love. Shy is coming. So actually, this is so fascinating because I love it when you get to break down your music, right? So when you're making a song, right? How do you approach it? How do you approach your music? Is it very like 9 to 5, like every day? Because some people are like, I need to go into the studio, whether I make something or not, I just want to go in and make it. Or is it one of those, when I feel inspired, when I pluck a flower, and then today I will write a rap? Is it like that, or was it?
So it's a combination of both. I go in every day like a job. I have a studio. I go there every day in the morning. I come back in the evening. Most days I don't make anything. Some days I can make two songs. I don't know. It just that depends. But I do it like religiously. I go in every day. I don't have a weekday, weekend, nothing. Like I don't have that concept. If I need to do something else, I'll do it. But I'll still manage to sit on the music at some point in the day.
Awesome. What about you? Is that what
I have chunk of like time, like I oh, I get inspired for like 3 months in a year, and that's where like all the music
basically
comes
like
from.
monsoon season? You're
Yes,
like that. My
yes.
inspiration comes. It rains,
Yes.
and then it's winter.
Yep. And then like the season starts and it's a perfect time to put that music out
Music out.
and go on tour. So I segregated like my year. Spend some time with the family in that time as well. Then you get to hear some stories, maybe write that, in the songs. So it's amazing.
So when you're
Whose phone is this? Come on.
someone's getting in trouble.
Take that call, bro.
So, you guys were talking about yours is like my writing is seasonal. You're like I do it like a 9 to 5. What comes to you first? Like, is it the beat? Is it the rhythm? Is it the lyrics? Like, what are the things that sort of come at you? Like, where do you feel like okay, this feels like the beginning of the song? So I think there must be like a sort of method to the madness. What is the first thing that comes to you the fastest?
I'm not sure if there's a method to the madness, to be honest. Sometimes, like, if I can get like the start of the song going, I can write the song really quickly. But sometimes when I don't find that, I struggle with it because I feel like, when I said like the beat talks to you, sometimes it just hits you like that, and it's like so easy to like formulate, get everything in, but but this is a creative process at the end of the day, and we're not like machines, so sometimes it just doesn't come to you, and you kind of have to give it a break. You have to come back to it. I mean, that's my process. I don't know about Prab.
As I said, like thought comes the first. Like I can be like chilling on the beach and there is a thought about waves and I can quickly write it down on my phone and like maybe like visit that thought like 3 months later. And
Yeah, that happens. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you're just chilling and like a hook can pop into your head. Like then you just write it down and like use it when you have to
like,
use it.
You can be around like 50 people and like you can sit in the
Yeah.
corner of the room and like be like, yeah, this is the one, this is the one.
Sometimes it's like words like that. Like you hear a word and you're like, oh, this could make a dope song. So and that comes from social interaction. So I feel like I feel like it can be a bunch of things. I don't think there's a formula to it.
Yeah, sometimes like this guy's phone ringing. I don't know who's this guy. This guy, right? So it's EQ'd in a different way because it's somewhere in the back. So it gave me another idea. Like I was struggling for like for this instrument for a while, how to fix this in to the song. So now I got it. Like what EQ I have to put there. So.
No, and this is so fascinating for me because a lot of the time I think when people are listening to the song, they don't really understand where it came from, right? You just listen to the song, you feel it. And I think which is where like I feel like there's so much that is intangible, that is so hard to describe. You can talk about what inspired the song, but like you said, when the beat talks to you and it doesn't, songs talk to you too, right? There are moments where you can hear a song and you're like, oh my God, this is making me feel things that I never felt before.
That's the thing, man. Like we are actually lucky that we are making music. We are so close to, people call it different names like God, love, like whatever it is. It's a different. I'm sure like you also felt it like in the studio when you're in the zone. We call it in the zone.
Thank
right?
you. I love the technical terms.
Yeah. You're in the zone for 3 hours and you don't, like you come out, like you check your watch, you're like, yo, that's 3 hours.
Sometimes it's like songs will write themselves.
Yeah.
And that's the craziest feeling. That's what we strive for. Like you can't get it all the time. Sometimes you have to write it even if that feeling's not there. But sometimes songs just write themselves. Like I don't remember writing certain songs. Like I don't remember.
Seriously?
Yeah. You listen to it like, yo, this, I don't know who wrote this, but this is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like your own song, like you don't.
surprise yourself.
No, later
Years
though. It's
later,
like, it's like later when you hear it back, you're like, oh, like how did I write this? You know, it's
months,
like that.
after months, like you're listening to it and you're like, yo, this is crazy. Like, what was I thinking?
When I was writing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, people ask me like, oh, how do you come up with this punchline and how do you come up with this, you know, whatever. And to be honest, I don't have an answer. I don't know how I came up with it, bro. It just like hit me and I just wrote it down. That's it.
You know, I can't remember who said this, but you talked about like that this inspiration, like there's something that's inexplicable about it. And I think one is that you can get inspired by things around you, like you were like listening to conversations and hearing words. And the other is that there was this woman, I think she's a producer. She talks about when she gets inspired, she's like, I feel like I'm tapping into something that like I'm just listening to something and I'm just a sort of vessel for it.
Yeah,
like,
that's
do
what
you
it
guys
is.
feel like that
Yeah,
sometimes?
that's what it is. Like when you can't tell who's writing the song, it's obviously something like that, you know?
All the time. Like, there was a time for 3 months. Whose phone is this, man? Come on. Where is this phone? Somebody find this
know.
phone. Come on. It's been a while.
Whoa, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Anyway,
You were saying.
so there was a time, like 3 months, my studio was always on, like 24/7. It was running always. And I was getting ideas in my sleep. Sometimes a melody, sometimes
Yeah.
a lyric, sometimes like a full song.
Wow.
And these are the songs which like people like the most.
Really? The ones that
Yeah.
you're dreaming of?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
So
like,
that's crazy. Like I'm just tapping into it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm always it's crazy. Sometimes I'm taking a nap in between a song and like I wake up. The mic is always on, so I go record.
Wow.
I go back to sleep. I wake up again and listen to it. Rework on it. And of course, like you make mistakes along the way and then you perfect those mistakes. That's a beautiful process and
Yeah.
you learn so much about life in this, like just you alone in the studio.
Yeah.
And like, oh, this is, like it gives you a fresh perspective about your surrounding every time.
I'm liking that from, like, you know how some people sleepwalk, you sleep songwrite? You're like, I wake up like a zombie and the music comes out.
It was not always like the best ideas. Sometimes you wake up like, what the fuck?
You're like, today I'll write about dragons. So, you know what? And I recently had a singer-songwriter that I was talking to who said something really interesting to me, which was that she said this thing that I think hit me really hard, and I don't know if anyone else feels like this sometimes. I feel like she's like, you know, I get inspired very easily. But then when I say my idea out loud, if one person doesn't like it, it's like that whole thing crumbles. You know, it's really hard to defend your idea and feel like it is worth something when sometimes that idea is so delicate, it's like, you know, like a wisp. And then one person kind of bursts that thing and then you're like, oh, but I thought that idea was amazing. Do you ever have this moment where it kind of becomes difficult for you to stay true to the thing that is really authentic to you because I don't know, like I always feel like there's this, like you have to have a real confidence in yourself and who you are to be able to put something out there that you're not sure it's going to be good or not.
I feel like that's every song, to be honest. Like, you know, you can only make the song and put it out. The rest of it is not up to you. You know, you don't know, you can't preempt what the world is going to react or how they're going to react, you know. So the best you can really do is make the song to the best of your abilities and put it out. I don't know if I make a song tomorrow, what you'll think of it, what he'll think of it, what they'll think of it, right? I can only make the song. So I think, but it is also, I feel like Prabh might be like that too. I'm not sure. I might be guessing. But I think we are our own like biggest critics, to be honest. And my songs don't go out of the studio until I feel like maybe it's right, you know? It's not like I'm going to just make anything and be like, oh, bro, do you like this? There are rappers like that who, you know, make scratch songs and play it for 100 people. But I'm not like that. Like, I live in my own world that way, you know. And and I know, like, when the time is right, that I want to make someone hear it. And they might still give me negative feedback. I'm not saying they might not. But I feel like I am my biggest critic. Sometimes I don't even like my songs, you know. And
And
but
sometimes those songs like become
exactly,
most-
exactly.
the biggest ones, and then you have to perform it. And like, fuck.
Because you're not
I
you.
didn't like this one that much.
Yeah. But you don't. You'll grow to like it if it's making you money. It's like I
You'll
like
be
that
like,
song now.
Like that, yeah.
My money
That's the
maker.
house song. Yeah. You know, that's gonna buy you a house.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it's just it honestly, like, I think it's every artist is different that way, and some people might, you know, their ego might crumble if somebody says it's not good. But if you're really like in my case, I'm just like so hard on myself that I feel like it's gone through the toughest test before it's even out.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're also? I mean, because I think both of you, there's like this sort of common ground that you kind of cocoon yourself in your studio a little bit. Do you feel like you're a harsh critic on yourself? Do you?
Oh.
No. Feel like
I'm
this
so
sucks.
hard on myself. Like this, people around me, like people I'm working with, they get offended. Like they got offended, and they're like, "Bruh, fire me or I'm leaving." Like you have two choices. Like many times, because this is what I love to do. Like this is the only thing I can do with with trust. Like I can say like, yeah, I can execute music. I can execute a song. So always like critical about how it's sounding, how I'm gonna present it to the world for sure. But I don't expect like they're they're gonna like it or not. Like I don't
Yeah.
really care about. It affected me for a long time though. It's
Yeah.
not like it came in a day. Like I was affected by not receiving, like putting 2 years into something and like it received not even half of what I expected. But it was my expectation. Like it had nothing to do with anyone, you know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, as an artist, I feel like it's very important to manage expectations, your own especially. Because sometimes we can just get into our head and think like, oh, this is going to be the biggest song, and it won't be the biggest song. And at the same time, you can you can not like a song, and it can be the biggest song. So it's just honestly like the music business is a gamble at the end of the day. You know, there's no sure shot formula. They'll tell you there's a formula, but there's no formula. You know, so I
Yeah.
guess like. I guess that's just everything is up in the air for artists.
And that's the I think that's the beautiful part about making music. I embrace like music and business because both of these things are important. Like to sustain, if you want to sustain as an artist, and if you don't want to have another job and make music, you have to understand both sides and play a part. And like you have to spend as much time as you're spending inside the studio, like outside world as well, and understand like how it's working. And like by the time you figure this out and like you practice this theory for a couple of years, you will see like how much help people around you like is getting from you, and you're feeding a lot of people, you're feeding a lot of families because you're making art, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful feeling at the end of the day.
Yeah. I also think, I mean, I'm taking a wild step. I think Jerry Seinfeld said this when he said that, you know, when you like go out like and you tell a joke, the audience you instantly know like the success or the failure of something because your audience will tell you. So do you feel like, I mean, I think for a lot of musicians, I think that's the huge difference between, say, comedians and musicians is that whenever I've spoken to comics, they're always like, oh, I'm so jealous of musicians. They get so much love. We do not get that kind of love. So do you, I mean, I'm sure, like, especially with fans that really, like, adore your work and are obsessed with, you know, what you're going to put out. Have you ever had a moment where, because I have this as well with a lot of the artists and music that I love, you know, I love the first album, and then you're waiting for the second album or a new single, and you hear it, and you're like, it's not as good as the first one. But I still love the artist. I still love them, and they're still close to my heart. But like you, even as a fan, can be subjective. Like, have you ever had that moment where you put something out and you were like, why didn't they like this one?
I think that happens often. I feel like, but I don't think it's. Sometimes you feel like, see, we as artists maybe know a little bit more about the art than the people listening to it. Because we put in that work behind it, right? So maybe in our eyes, it has more value than a person who's just casually listening to it has. So I think that's the difference. And I feel like sometimes I'm influenced by this a lot. I mean, growing up, I listened to a lot of hip hop. And I mean, when I say a lot, I mean a lot of hip hop. And there are ideas in my head that, you know, I feel like, okay, this would be a cool thing to do, you know, like something like this, like when I heard this, you know, 10, 15, 20 years ago, maybe do something like that, you know, whatever. And if someone doesn't have context for that, how are they going to like it, you know? They're not really going to dig it as much as you are going to dig it being a student of the game, right? So I feel like that's always, I mean, it always happens, I feel.
Do you ever feel like that? Do you ever have moments where you're like, gosh,
Every project.
everyone you're like, did they
Fact.
like it?
Because I shift from style to style. When and every year my growth game is crazy. Like I grow. I observe a lot, and that bring more thoughts, and then I observe those thoughts. So that becomes a growth. And what I like now, I didn't like year ago, and vice versa. So I'm always like trying new music, listening to different genres, and experimenting with new stuff. Like every project have a different sound. It have every project got like different people from different genres, producers, players
Yeah.
who played on it. So when I drop it first, it's always a surprise. Like they're like, "Oh, we like the last one. This is a different one."
Whoa, yeah.
And every time like we do these album tours, uh, it's a different audience.
Yeah.
Last time we did a show in Bangalore. King Tour had like 500 people, like small venue,
Yeah.
fully packed. It was a good vibe. And then the next tour we did had like 350, but like more mature audience. So I'm like, okay, I've grown as a person who's making music. And I asked them like, how many of you were on the last tour? And only 5 of them were there. So I got like the whole new audience this time. But now I want to gather like all of these fans from last 4 projects and make like maybe a bigger fan base, you know?
Of
I don't know.
course. I think everyone will that. So now all of you may or may not know this. I feel like a real school teacher right now because I gave Prab and Krishna some homework to do. Okay? So I gave them I asked them a couple of questions and the answers were songs. So the first question, I hope like my laptop aux cable gentleman sound dude. Hi. Yep, I got a thumbs up. It's always good when you get a thumbs up. So I asked them both some questions, okay? The first one was, what do you feel like is your most popular song, or the song that everyone comes and says, oh, this song, I love this, it was my favorite. So, Prabs, would you like to tell me what your favorite was? Because I have it right here. Amar?
Amar?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, I'm playing it right now. Hopefully. It'll play out. Oh, yeah. Do you guys know this song? It's called Amar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, this is Prab's most popular. What do you think about this song makes it super popular?
ਮੇਰੀ ਫੱਟਦੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਵਾਂ ਮੂੰਹ ਤੇ ਸਿੱਧੀ ਗੱਲ 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 ਮੇਰੀ ਬਣਦੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਈਓ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਰਨ ਨਫ਼ਰਤ ਮੇਰੀ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਪਹਿਚਾਣ ਵਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਮਤਲਬੀ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਵਾ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਬੂਲ ਤੇ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੀਣਾ ਬਸ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਅਸੂਲ ਵੇ ਹੱਥ ਜੋੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਛੱਡੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ
So, I gotta ask you, what do you think you feel like makes Amar your most popular track?
I think I was being really truthful when I was making this. Writing, music, everything about it. I mixed and mastered it myself.
This is mixed and mastered by you?
Yeah, you can check the credits. People get surprised, like you got all the information in the captions, bro. Come on.
It does. I knew
Yeah.
this already. Did you know? So what was about this song that you feel, like I said, like that everyone loves this song? There's something about Amar that everyone loved.
It was been a while. Like I was really before this, I was making songs. Like when I got in the studio, I was making through different perspectives. If my mentor is gonna like this one, if people is gonna listen to this one, or what will my mom will say about this song. You know, like you have these questions like pops in your head. Like when you write a verse and you're like, oh, like my homie's gonna like this one. You know, then you continue writing through his perspective or her perspective. This was me. Like it was my truth at that point, and I was being true about it. And there is a crazy story about this song. There was a version of this song I was uploading, and like musicians around me, I sent it to them. They're like, this is good, but this is not great. I'm like, guys, I'm gonna just put it out. So I was uploading it on YouTube like 1 a.m. in the morning, and the whole YouTube got shut down like for 3 days. Like you can check it out, like the dates, like the servers from Google got like or something, and
Are you saying that Amar broke YouTube?
and now it was 96%. I uploaded it like it was 96%, and like then I'm like what's happening? And I checked it online, like YouTube is down for a while. Then it gave me 3 days to work on it, and well, it's playing here.
See? God damn. Okay, so my same question, right? I asked Krishna, what was the song that, like, is your most popular song? Everyone knows it. It's the one that people come to you saying, Sarji, I love this song of yours. It's my favorite. Yours was?
Honestly, I feel like this is not my most popular song, but but people love this the most. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
weird thing to say, but my most popular songs aren't fit to be played here.
Everyone's
So,
getting that one.
yeah,
Okay. So this one's
this
called?
one's called No Cap. Totally different from Prab's song, though.
आजकल यहाँ बहुत से जन मौके मिलते ही ओकेजन ए नो टाइम अगर नो पेशेंस तुझे चाहिए जंग भेज अपनी लोकेशन ए मेरे गाने ऑन रोटेशन ये सोच से गरीब दे दो डोनेशन ए देसी हूँ मैं साउथ एशियन पर स्किन कलर लगे जैसे कॉकेशन ए नो मनी नो कॉन्वर्सेशन मैं तो अनअवेलेबल हमेशा ऑन वेकेशन ए हेडशॉट अगर कॉन्फ्रंटेशन इनकी
So what is it about No Cap that like you realized like this is the one that people keep coming up to you to say that this is the song that I really like?
I feel like it's just, it's very casual, it's fun. Before this, like I probably took stuff a little more serious. And in this one, I was just having fun. To be honest, like that first part, like, आजकल यहाँ बहुत से जन Okay, milte hi occasion. Hey, I had not even written that when I went to record this song. I was just on the mic and I was just like just catching a vibe, and it just came like that. It was like, आजकल यहाँ बहुत से जन मौके मिलते ही occasion. Hey, no time, I got no patience. तुझे चाहिए जंग भेज अपनी location. Hey, so that's how that came, and it's like a very spontaneous song. So that's why I kind of like it, and it worked.
It is like this. This is the kind of song that you can hear being played out of a shack in Goa. Like suddenly you're walking past, and you're like, oh, this song, I'm feeling the vibes.
Yeah, as in people when even if they don't know the song, when they hear the song, they'll always ask or Shazam it or do something. So I feel like that's this kind of also gave me a little bit of an idea of a formula in terms of what kind of works when I put out a song, And
Excuse me, please tell us your formula.
no,
Chemistry
formula as in
professor.
like there's a vibe to this song that I have also done once or twice later, and I understand that when I'm in that zone, people like it more. So that's I kind of discovered that in this, which is more like sort of up tempo, fun, not too serious, just flowing, doing whatever.
How often do you use this formula?
I've used it once or twice after that, and.
You can't go back to it like naturally, right? Like even if you force yourself.
No, I don't go back to it. It's not like I'm forcing myself to do it, but I feel like it's I kind of found comfort in it. So it's that comes the easiest to me. It's like, bro, I put out a beat, I put on a beat, and like I do my thing in terms of writing my raps, which is like like heavy sort of bars and all of that. And then the hook is just obviously like always like just catch a vibe at the moment. That's it.
I love it. That's so good. But I'm liking, both of you have such interesting perspectives on, at least for me, to understand and sort of break down your music. So, the second piece of homework that I gave, okay, was that now this was the song that audiences come to you and tell you, oh my God, I love this song of yours. The next question that I asked both Prab and Krishna was like, what is the song that they love, like the song that they adore, but not enough people like? So yours was, do you remember?
Yes, sir.
It's
Cut. Always the vibe intros. That it never works. They're like, it's too long, bruh.
They don't have patience to get into it, basically. That's what it is.
oh no, so that's the thing
But
that
I love these though. I love these long intros.
that is a beautiful bass line, man. It's the King EP, right?
खुश रहो प्यार दवो दिन नहीं खराब करना किसे दिन
People didn't like this one
ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ
enough.
ਰਹੋ ਫਲ ਦੀ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਵੇ ਕਦੇ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਨੀਅਤ ਸਾਫ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਰੱਖੋ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਫੇਰ ਵੇਖੀ ਕਿਤਾ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਤੰਦੀ ਸਾਥ
Now you guys liking it? Look at that.
ਬਾਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਯਾਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ
Now
ਮੁੱਛ
they-
ਨਹੀਂ ਹਾਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਜੇਬ 'ਚ ਰੱਖੋ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ
So what was it? Like you gave this one example of the fact that like the intro's too long. People don't have patience. What is it about? And I'm always so curious because artists have this as well. They have this moment where like the song that they like, oh, why does no one like the song enough? So what is it about Cut that you love and absolutely adore about this song, but like maybe not enough people maybe get it?
Well, first, like, I don't ask why they don't like it. I really don't care because
Oh,
I like
fair
it.
enough.
And this idea, it was just like, I wanted to make a song without hi-hats.
Oh,
Yeah, this song does not have hi-hats.
Prob has the weirdest ideas, bro. I want to make a song without hi-hats. I've never even thought of that shit.
he's like, let me challenge myself.
Let me make a song without lyrics.
I did that too,
They
though.
call it instrumental, huh?
4 words. Made a 4-minute song out of it. Never, I'm never gonna put that out though. That will never work for sure.
Oh my god.
But you never know. But yeah, it was fun. Like getting my guitarists and bassists at home is like, hey, it's nothing new for them. Like we are like I'm a hip hop head, right? We have hi hats in every song. Like that's gonna drive the song. That's gonna bring the energy. That's the highs in the song, And I'm like, let's make it. let's see where this goes. And my bassist drove the whole
But do you
song.
think anyone noticed that this doesn't have hi-hats?
I don't think so.
That's the
I
thing.
think that's the one.
I think many
that's,
people.
that's why he's not happy. He's like, nobody noticed.
No one
the,
noticed.
The hi-hats were gone.
I don't think many people noticed the song was out.
You know, I think what's going to happen now, they'll all go, you know what, cut, no hi-hats. That's what, now everyone will remember that now. There you go. Now, the song of yours that, again, you love, but just not enough people loved it as much as you did. What was yours?
I played a little game though.
What is the
This
name?
is a relatively new song. I don't know if people love it or not, but I know that I'm going to talk about it today and say people don't love it, so they'll go and hear it.
That's a good
Subtle-
strategy,
it's
bro.
called a subtle plug, huh, guys? Subtle plug. Okay.
Oh, they wanna know कैसा लगे when I'm riding in the coupe. क्यों पहनूं shades अगर बाहर ना है तू. Louis Vuitton on my bag and my shoes. Oh, they wanna know किया मैंने कैसे
This guy knows what he was doing.
even if they knew. I'm just trying to do what I'm destined to do. Wanna know क्या किया कैसे किया. Trap phone ringing like an old Nokia. बहुत तेरा बहुत देखा Louis V बहुत लिया जो चाहिए वो कब किया पर मैंने हूँ शौक किया. You ain't in my circle ये circle ना कभी big enough division.
Wait, this just came out. This is from Far From Over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your new EP.
Yeah.
This is like, this is just like, you know what, I've got opportunity,
Shit.
taking it full.
Shit.
So can you tell me what Wanna Know is about? Tell me a little bit.
But I feel like it's still like in the EP, it's probably like the third most streamed or whatever. So I'm guessing like I'm hoping like it picks up and it's got a video coming as well. So
That's a nice one.
yeah, it's a little melodic in the hook and just the rap is rap, I guess. I didn't
Did
mess
you just say the rap is rap?
as in like I didn't
Krishna
mess
is
with it.
running out of words to describe his music. He's
I didn't
like, rap is rap.
I didn't mess
Words
with
are words, beats are beats.
He understands what I'm saying. The rap is rap.
He's not using
Like the
hi-hats,
rap is
man.
not-
What are you talking about?
The rap is not
I understand.
sung.
I understand
The
what
rap
he's
is
saying.
Not like yeah. So like
This guy doesn't use hi-hats. This guy makes rap as rap. What is happening here?
yeah. So yeah, I think it's a good combination of like little sort of vibe plus what I do best, which is spit like that. So I think yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, guys, just so you know, if you didn't realize already, Krishna has released a new EP called Far From Over, and Wanna Know is on it. So yeah. Now, I gotta tell you guys, I now have decided to also play this game, and I also did some homework. So I'm gonna tell you the
Which song you
songs
didn't
of-
like?
No. Hey, I'm not so mean. Also,
The song
man.
you hated the most.
Be like the one. Okay, you know what? Let's critique this whole thing. No, so I actually wanted to pick the songs of yours that I liked. I think the one that you know that I like. You already know this one, but we'll start with you, Prab. This is the song. I'm a little bit of a B-side gal. I like the stuff that like I don't know if anyone likes, but this is a song of Prab's that is one of my favorites. It's called Maya. It's one of my favorites. It's that slow jam. I like me some slow jam. So, I like Maya because I do love me a good slow jam. But I also, and this is maybe when I play you your song also, I'll kind of explain something. So Maya is one of my favorites of yours because I love the slow jam. There's something about the song that kind of, I felt like, wow, this is like a side of Prab like I hadn't seen before. And it was kind of like groovy and slow and mellow. Like, I don't know, what were you, like, I don't know where you were at when you were making this song, but you just sound like really relaxed. Like really relaxed. You know, like when you're lying down and you're like,
Yeah.
so relaxed.
Probably sleeping. These are the songs I
Is this
got
sleeping
in.
song?
Yeah. Khat,
This is a
Amar,
sleeping song,
Maya,
guys.
all three came in my
really?
sleep. Yeah,
I got the sleeping
different
song, guys.
locations though. Yeah, different locations.
One on a plane, one in your house, one like.
One in the mountains, one on the beach, one in Delhi.
I got the sleeping song, guys. Aww. In a bit. In a little bit.
He wants you to sing over the song.
Do you want to?
I'm performing tomorrow, bro.
Yay! There you go. Okay, so that was Maya. That was my favorite. So I'm gonna play you the song of yours that's my favorite. And I don't know how popular it is, but it's definitely one that. It's one of my favorites of yours.
I don't even remember the song.
Oh my God, do you not remember? This is the one that you don't remember.
Oh, this is old.
I love this. This is the one of yours I really like.
Yeah.
You remember now?
Yeah.
I'm glad you remember your own song, man.
Yeah. This was like lost in the archives. I don't even know how you pulled it out.
That's what I'm saying. The sleep song, the one that you can't even remember your own music, but this song. And okay, the one thing, and this is maybe the reason why I like Maya and Muqabla, is that I think one of the things that people don't realize about, rappers or hip hop artists is that you guys can sing. And in Muqabla, you do like sing a little bit in the opening, and in Maya, you sing. And one of the things that people don't really, at least it's the thing that I notice, is that I like it when rappers sing because I'm not saying that you're like Shankar Mahadevan or something like that. Like it's not like, but it's nice when I hear a rapper because already you understand that you can rap and you have rhythm. But like when you sing, like that's the stuff that I also really enjoy. So that's why I liked Muqabla, which you can't remember, and that's why I like Maya, because I can hear you guys actually sing, and I think you guys are also talented singer.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of put it in there once in a while. Prab does it a lot more than I do. But
That's true.
yeah, I guess you gotta have that little bit of sort of musicality anyway.
Yeah, melodies are, I think, really important because you can convey more with melodies. Like, it elevates your, what you want to say. You can say like 3 words and sing it. Like, it will say way more than when
Yeah.
you say it. It's always good.
I agree. So now you remember the song now. Yeah, I'm glad. So these are like, so for me, those are the songs that I like. And I know now, hopefully, you guys will go and be like, I'm going to listen to Maya and Muqabla, and you guys will get some streams from me, because I helped. I think one of the last things I really want to talk to you about is that you're also, and I think this is where, I think an important part of at least being here for, Boiler Room and Ballantyne's True Music Studios is that actually finding a way to move like a sense of like music culture forward, right? And I think one of the things that I find really important is that I think the independent music scene is also, for me at least, the epitome of the struggling artist, right? And one of the things that I find really, as for me, is really important is to be supportive, right? And between the two of you, what do you feel like are the ways in which hip hop artists can get more support, especially the young, newer ones who are really working hard to try to get somewhere, I guess? Yeah.
Oh, when you say support, what do you mean? Like support, like how?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of the time, I feel like it might just be like someone coming up to you guys and saying, hey, can you listen to my music and tell me what you think? It might be as basic as that. I mean, it could
How
be.
many DMs do you get?
Oh.
I don't even open them, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey.
Bruh, it's too, like,
a lot.
It's a lot. Like,
You know what? This
It's
is
like,
what-
you know what, like when we were, I'm sure Prab decided this a lot, like when we were on the grind coming up, we sent countless DMs. Not DMs at that time, messages, Facebook messages, whatever, to people that we looked up to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure, I mean, I don't know about him, but I did. I sent a lot of like messages and stuff just in the hope that I'll get someone to work with me and all of that. I never really got a reply, but I don't hold it against them. Like
Absolutely.
it doesn't. Yeah.
There is one thing I tell these guys, you know, who send me like some of these guys like meet me at my shows and they're like, we sent you a song like 3 months ago, you haven't replied. I'm like, bro, if your song is really good, it will reach me. You know, like people, like good songs will reach, even though like he's making music, I'm making music, we are in the studio, but we are aware of who's coming up.
Yeah.
We know the young ones who are coming up, like from Delhi, from Bombay,
Yeah.
because it spreads like that. And we were the ones at one point who came up, you know, like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I feel like there's no shortcut to the grind. You know, some people just want you to listen to the music in the hope that you're gonna give them a hand. You know, but I don't feel like that's the real grind. You know, and sometimes you just gotta like go through it to reach where you are. And when you go through it, it's way more rewarding than someone who's just handed out something that maybe someone else is working it just as hard or maybe twice as hard for. So I think that's I don't know how. Honestly, the best advice would be like just keep making music, I guess. Like just don't lose the faith in making music. I think that's the most important thing, and that's a lesson that I sort of I would tell anyone. That was that like sometimes you don't feel like you're getting what is due to you. Sometimes you're just making music and you think it's falling on deaf ears. But the idea is to not stop there. The day you stop there, that's gone, right? So just kind of do it the way you need to do it, even if it's on the side, do whatever, but make it work.
I mean, that is really great advice because I also think that in these kind of situations also, and this is what I also find really fascinating because the two of you are also so distinct in the kind of music that you make and the styles, and I do feel it's super authentic to you and what you are expressing. And I wanted to know, like, because there are also a lot of young artists who feel like they want to emulate, a particular formula, but like want to emulate like a way in which, oh, this person's doing it this way. That means that if I do it this way, I'll be successful.
I think we all did it, no?
Did you?
In the start,
Well,
like we.
I want to be
you all
LL,
did
I want to
it.
be LL Cool J. I
Yeah.
want to be like 50.
Yeah, like I feel like a little bit of that comes naturally when you're starting out. Like you want to like you feel like okay, this is what I listen to a lot, and you kind of get influenced by it. That's what it is. But it's all about kind of finding your own voice at the end of the day. You'll go through a journey, and you'll find what you're good at. I am a product of the music I listen to or I used to listen to. That's why I have punchlines. I have all of these technical things in my song because these are the songs I was listening to. And these might not sound like the guys I listen to, but that sort of influence comes from there. And you can't take that away. So, Prab and me, I mean, we are doing whatever we're doing right now. I don't know, 10 years down the line, some kid might blow up and say that, oh, I used to listen to Prab's music.
No,
So-
this is already happening, bro. This is already happening.
Oh,
like
yeah.
when we are the second wave of hip hop. Like
I'm the first wave with Baba Sehgal apparently.
I said, guys, you
No, no,
remember?
no, you
I
are-
said Baba Sehgal,
I'm
Krishna, Mere Gali Mein. That was the
No, no,
timeline I
I'm
gave. You're
saying-
in between, sir.
Divine is also second wave, bro. Like first one,
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about people who made it big. Like we are the second one. We can sustain ourselves through music. That's what I'm talking. Like we are the
100%.
second wave who are doing it. But now it's more like the music is more enhanced. It's more refined, detail oriented. Also, there are kids looking up to him, looking up to Seedhe Maud, looking up to Raftar, Divine. Like now they are not like looking out to West to find inspiration. People are inspired by Stan. Like there is a whole community who are looking forward like for the songs to come out and be inspired.
But I honestly don't know if that's the best thing or not, to be honest, in my opinion.
Are you saying that like
No.
someone comes and says,
I'm
Krishna,
saying-
I'm so inspired by you? Shut up.
No, that's
No,
not what
I
I'm
understand.
saying. That's not
You
what I'm saying.
understood why I laughed, right?
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I feel like that's a with every generation, so it's very important to understand where hip hop came from, in my opinion, right? And where it started and what it sounded like. And then you get your sort of knowledge from there, and then you make it your own, right? Now, if someone who's sort of maybe not that deep into the culture of hip hop and they blow up, and some kid gets influenced by them, there's already like a 50% dilution of the culture that you are sort of into, right? So now you'll have kids rapping who are not connected to hip hop as such. They connected to one artist, but it's not really the culture that they're connected to. So I feel like that.
Now, let me counter you there, bro.
Yeah.
You are the culture.
No, I am the culture, and this is
this
not
is-
specifically for me.
No,
but
I'm
like,
saying we
yeah.
are the culture right
Yeah.
now. Like, you started hip hop, right? Like,
No,
you know
but-
the elements.
But that's the difference, bro. Like everyone doesn't, right? We are not the only influences, right? There are many influences. There are going to be more influences coming as well. And I have seen that people are not that deep into the culture. Like people just know what rap is now, and they'll just pick up rap from like the latest trend, from whatever, and then they'll start rapping, right? So they are not deep into the culture. So whoever is influenced by them is not going to be deep into the culture, is what I'm trying to say. And this is not a blanket thing. There are
No,
obviously-
I think that's the part of evolution. No, like we won't be having Travis Scott if like the West was going through the same ideology.
But Travis Scott knows all of it, right?
Of course, and you know all of it. Like it's 50 years already hip hop, and we are sitting far from where it started from. So, and it's gonna be like this. I hope for the best anyway. I hope.
Yeah,
there
that's
will
what
be-
we're doing basically, hoping for the best.
I hope for the best. That's where we like. So I want to say that, like, firstly, thank you so much to Prabdeep and to Krishna for this really interesting conversation. And I'm so glad we got to play some of your music. And I am always excited about what new things you guys are working on. So if you can, and I would like to know, obviously you have your new EP out. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I mean, it's been out for almost a month now. It's called Far From Over. Just go stream it, listen to it. If you like it,
Please
you
listen
like
to
it. That's great.
Awesome. What are you working on at the moment?
So all three tracks you played was from King EP. I'm doing King Returns.
King Returns.
Yeah, 2 songs are out. Nobody gives a. That's what happened with King 1 when it came out. Like, it blew up actually like year later.
Much later.
But that's the best thing, bro. Slow burn.
Yeah.
Slow burn. Yeah. Well, the songs are slow
Yeah.
jam, slow burn. Yeah.
So and the purpose changed why I'm making music, and it's for well-being. Like I wish whoever is listening to my music now, I wish them well. So yeah, stream it if you.
Are you
feel
are you
like-
being serious that you're making something called King Returns?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be like Batman, like King Returns, King Resurrection? Is it gonna be like
Resurrection.
be like this will be like the Matrix?
No.
Be like there'll be like 5 of them or something.
There will be more parts for sure.
Yeah.
But let's focus on King Returns right now.
Okay, yeah. Guys, concentrate, huh? King Returns. You
Yeah.
heard that? No? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, guys, please give a huge round of applause to Prav and to
Thank you
Krishna.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.